This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. It is Thursday, August 25th. August is almost over.
I'm telling you, and the weekend is almost here as well.
I know. I'm Andrea Walker.
I'm Bill Bryant. It's so good to have you on WKYT this morning. We have a lot going on right now at 6 a.m. The search is continuing this morning for a man who police believe shot his wife in Bath County.
The search continues for the driver accused of injuring a Lexington police officer during an overnight traffic stop.
And a Louisville teacher being credited with saving a student's life. We'll explain how just ahead this morning. And here's meteorologist Micah Harris. It's his birthday. How about that?
We got a birthday boy here.
Unbelievable. I was talking about it this morning. People had to remind me it was my birthday this morning. That's
you know you're getting old, buddy.
You had told me a couple of weeks ago, and I called the newsroom. I said, "Is it Micah's birthday?"
Yeah.
So they did some quick research.
Right.
So, yeah.
Little research.
Just kidding. You're not old at all.
Right. There we go. All right. So here's what's going on the next few days. By the way, thank you guys very much. 74 degrees right now, guys. And you were talking about it this morning, Andrea, when you were walking in, that it is already humid. That's a bad precursor than what you can expect later on this afternoon, is we'll be right around 90 degrees. Not going to feel good. I'm kind of missing those fall-like temperatures already. And it's going to even get warmer later on this work week, off into your weekend. It doesn't look good, and here comes that humidity along with it. Now, will we have any chance of rain? That's the question. I might have that in your forecast coming up.
All right, fall will get here soon enough.
Yes.
Let's get to the news now.
The search is on this morning for a man who state police say shot and killed his wife.
Police say the Bath County suspect may be hiding out in the Red River Gorge. Michelle Chamberlain is tracking the investigation from our alert desk. Michelle?
Bill, the body of Judy White was found in her home Wednesday after her coworkers became concerned that she didn't show up for work. White's home is on Peace Sticks Road in Bath County, and police say she was shot multiple times. The coroner says she was killed sometime after midnight on Wednesday. Right now, police believe Judy White was killed by her husband, Christopher White. Judy's family tells us she and Christopher have a teenage son. The Powell County Sheriff's deputy says they believe Christopher is near the Red River Gorge where they spent the evening searching. He is considered armed and dangerous. He was last known to be driving a 2015 Jeep Patriot with Kentucky tags 165 VPE. If you have any information, you are asked to contact the Powell County Sheriff's Deputy Department. Andrea?
Thank you, Michelle. New this morning, Lexington police say an officer was hurt during an overnight traffic stop. It turns out that driver may have been involved in an earlier robbery. WKYT's Caitlin Sintner joins us live with the details. Good morning, Caitlin.
The search is on this morning for a person that hurt a Lexington police officer in a traffic stop, and we've learned this morning that person may be connected to a late night robbery. Now here's how police tell us it all went down. Police got a call late last night about a robbery on Center Parkway where they say 3 people forced their way into an apartment and pulled a gun on someone who owed them money. They left and no one was hurt. A couple hours later, an officer pulled over a car on Limestone. Police say that car didn't have brake lights. The officer says he smelled drugs and noticed the driver was acting suspiciously, even opening his door. That's when police say the officer reached inside the car and the driver sped off. The car hit the officer's arm, injuring his elbow. We're told he's doing okay, but police are still looking for that driver they say was driving a gold Kia. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. So the search continues there, and a troubling trend is continuing, and this time it has happened here in Kentucky. Police in Mount Sterling are telling us this morning they are investigating 12 heroin overdoses that happened in just a matter of hours. We've seen similar trends across the region, and coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you what several states, including Kentucky, are doing to try and curb this awful epidemic.
New this morning, a second arrest has been made in a violent robbery. Lexington police say the victim was robbed and beaten with a wrench outside a hotel near New Circle and Richmond Roads. Kevin Bentley is now the second person to be charged with robbery in this case. Hayden Rogers was arraigned on the same charge today.
Laurel County deputies have arrested a man who they say is responsible for killing 2 dogs by feeding them meth. Deputies say Benjamin Burdett also used meth around a 2-year-old girl. He is charged with wanton endangerment and 2 counts of animal cruelty. Deputies say he is also a sex offender who was not registered. New this morning, a community activist says a 14-year-old has been murdered in Louisville.
2 other teenagers were injured in last night's shooting in the Smoketown neighborhood. Police have not confirmed the victim's age. Neighbors were visibly shaken and say they're seeing an escalating level of violence in the area.
They're tired of going to funerals. They're tired of, hearing about friends losing their lives. They're tired of losing family members. They're tired of reliving the same old things each and every day.
We're told Louisville police have no suspects and are still trying to figure out what motivated the shooter. Governor Matt Bevin has signed a bill into law that's designed to help victims of sexual assault. The governor signed Senate Bill 63, also called the Sexual Assault Evidence Collection Kit Bill, at the State Crime Lab in Frankfort yesterday. The new law requires all sexual assault examination kits which haven't been tested to be sent to the crime lab by January 1st. The law also requires that all kits be tested on average within 90 days and eventually 60 days in the coming years. State police say this will help prevent a backlog that has slowed down investigations.
We love having the chance to tell you this story this morning. A Louisville student and his teacher now share a very special bond after she saved his life. 7th grader Tyler Bernardi was having lunch at TT Knight Middle School when he started choking on his lunch. He rushed to the table where the teachers were, and one of them, Kimberly Wagner, immediately started using the Heimlich maneuver on Tyler, and within seconds he stopped choking.
Being able to use it on him and hearing his family be grateful and the smile on his face, really makes it all worthwhile.
She should get a raise, like a big raise. Give her the winning lottery ticket or something.
Wagner says she and other teachers are not required to undergo Heimlich maneuver training. That was a surprise to us. She does, though, every year go through it just in case of an emergency situation like that. And did it ever come in handy in that circumstance?
Thank goodness she did. Yeah. And this next story, I think, will get people talking for sure. A group of students at Eastern Kentucky University, our alma mater, have started a petition to change the name of a campus dorm following a growing topic sweeping the country.
Right. The petition is asking EKU President Michael Benson to change the name of New Hall to Harambe Hall. Harambe, of course, was the name of the gorilla that was shot and killed by Cincinnati zoo officials after a child fell into its enclosure back in May. Just yesterday, the Cincinnati Zoo had to delete its Twitter account after receiving numerous comments about the late ape. So we'll see where this goes over at Eastern. But the dorm right now just has that name, New Hall. So
right.
We'll see. Right?
That's right. That's right. Interesting story.
Yeah, let's go to weather now.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We're clear early this morning from any rainfall. The rain's really back to the north of us, and it's not going to really affect us that much today. There is a small chance of rain, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, most of us stay dry. Here's the setup. We have the front to the north of us. It's trying to head our direction, but we have a lot of warm air and a huge dome of higher pressure still off toward the east coast. Now, what's happening here is that warm, moist air is sliding on in, setting stage for at least the chance of some rain in some portion of our viewing area. There's really not a great chance. Temperatures really what we're going to be focusing in on the next several days. 72 degrees right now in Mount Sterling. We're at 70 degrees in the London-Corbin area. Good morning to you guys in East Bernstadt off toward Rockcastle County. We're talking places like Livingston, Renfro Valley, and also Mount Vernon. And then work your way southbound into Wayne County. There, Monticello. Good morning to you guys. 90 degrees by the afternoon, my friends over toward Winchester. Yeah, you're going to be feeling the heat along with everybody else. It's just going to be very steamy today. It's not going to feel good. I promise you that. Here's what I can guarantee. I can guarantee that nobody will love this weather because it's just going to feel kind of sticky as you walk out the door. Not just this morning, but toward the afternoon as well. Steamy air still with us, high school football time. But I promise you this. There's not a good chance of rain there on Friday. Friday is actually one of our drier days in the forecast. And when I say that, I'm talking 20% max out of that day. So for the most part, we're dry, but we're still pretty muggy. It's one of those times kids need a lot of water there on the football fields. There will be some cramping going on. 92 degrees there on Saturday, 90 degrees on Sunday. Both of these days won't feel great, but most stay dry. So if you have any plans, stick to them as you're heading off towards your weekend. Here's your 7-day forecast. And we're talking about the weekend. The Capital City Blues and River Festival going on in Frankfort. That's Saturday evening. As of right now, I don't see much of an issue for you guys. There's a small chance at that time. Also, guys, the Moon Tower Music Festival going on Saturday at Masterson Station here in Lexington. That's always a big event, always a fun event. So if you have any events, I'd say stick to them. Just know a pop-up shower or thunderstorm by the afternoon is possible. Not likely, possible.
Okay.
That muggy air, they call it the air you wear, because you just start sweating so quickly.
And that is going to be the case all the way through next week, unfortunately.
It could be tough out there.
It
All right.
is.
Well, summer continues, you know.
There you go.
I'm good with that for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like the cold either, so.
You got it. 6:10 is our time this morning.
Each morning we bring you weather and traffic together.
Let's go to Officer Don with a check at what's happening out there on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. First collision inbound Winchester Road just past Sir Barton in the morning. That one should be over to the right. No one's hurt, so not a big deal getting past it. We'll keep an eye on it and keep you up to date. Overall, traffic view looks good right now coming in from Nicholasville, Harrodsburg. Also no problems on the north side of town. And of course, a quick look outside, courtesy of the Lexington Urban County government. As you can see, Leestown and New Circle looks great past Masterson Station Park. Be careful in the construction zones. Watch for the buses this morning, and we'll keep you up to date. Now back to you.
Hey, we know you will. When you get in your car, by the way, listen in. Officer Don and Deanna are out there on 98.1 The Bull.
They are so much fun. I used to intern for them.
I know you did.
They have fun, let me tell you.
Well, they do. They're fun folks. All right, it is 6:11 on WKYT this morning, and it's so good to have you along on your Thursday. We can now see that weekend. It's inside at least.
And when we come back, rescue efforts are into day 2 following a devastating earthquake in Italy. Stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome back in. Kentucky Morning Start here on WKYT at 6:15. Good to have you with us today.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for starting your day with us.
The frantic search for survivors in central Italy has now entered a second day.
Yesterday, the region was rocked by a massive earthquake, killing at least 250 people. Sadly, that number continues to rise. Tina Kraus has the latest on the rescue efforts.
Rescue teams in earthquake-ravaged Italy worked through the night and into daybreak using search dogs and heavy equipment trying to find people feared buried alive under mounds of debris. Armored tanks are joining the effort in hard-hit towns like Pescara del Tronto. Yesterday, crews there carefully pulled a girl named Giulia to safety. She had been trapped for 17 hours. The scene did little to comfort this firefighter. Giulia is being taken to the hospital, and that's good news, he says. As far as the rest is concerned, the images speak for themselves. The powerful quake struck Wednesday, leaving hundreds dead. Many of the victims came from here in Amatrice, which is packed with tourists this time of year. Several guests of the damaged Hotel Roma in the town lost their lives when the quake hit, including an 11-year-old boy who was first found alive in the rubble. Amatrice was set to hold an annual food festival this weekend. Now, thousands of those left homeless by the disaster have set up camp in tent cities around the devastation, wondering how they'll rebuild from here. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Amatrice, Italy.
President Obama offered his condolences to Italy's president by phone yesterday and commended the nation's first responders on their quick action. People in Indiana and Ohio are cleaning up after yesterday's devastating tornado outbreak. Scores of homes and businesses were damaged in Howard County, Indiana, where a massive twister hit the town of Kokomo. Several other tornadoes were reported in neighboring Ohio. Indiana Governor and Republican vice presidential nominee Mike Pence will tour the damage today.
7 students are dead following a militant attack on the American University of Afghanistan. 2 police officers and a security guard were also killed. A government spokesman says the assault began Wednesday evening with a suicide car bombing at the university's entrance in Kabul. It ended when the police killed the 2 attackers almost 9 hours later. Officials say at least 27 people were injured in the attack. Hillary Clinton is back on the campaign trail in Nevada today after days of private fundraising. The Democratic nominee broke her silence last night, defending her ties to her family's charitable foundation during her tenure as Secretary of State. Rival Donald Trump sharpened his attacks against Clinton in Mississippi yesterday, calling her a bigot who only sees people of color as votes. Prince's estate looks like it will soon be the next Graceland. The company handling the late musician's estate has announced that the Paisley Park estate will soon be opening up for public tours. The first tickets go on sale today. The first day for those tours set for October 6th. Prince lived, worked, and died at the 65,000 square foot complex, which is located near Minneapolis. Some Purple Rain memories that people will be able to go through and observe now.
The time now is 6:18 on your Thursday. The number of homes being sold is falling, but their price is going up. The National Association of Realtors says nearly 5.4 million homes were sold last month. That's a decline of 3.2%. The fall is blamed on a lack of homes going up for sale. And with that limited supply, the average sale price has gone up more than 5% in the last year. Nike's latest ad celebrates Simone Biles and other female Olympians returning home from Rio. The spot entitled Unlimited Pursuit also features Serena Williams, Gabby Douglas, and several others. Federal regulators have ruled several policies in Chipotle's employee handbook violate labor laws and must be changed. In a recent decision, the National Labor Relations Board determined Chipotle can no longer ban workers from criticizing the company on social media. It must also change a policy prohibiting workers from talking about politics and religion, and one that restricts workers from circulating petitions for better working conditions. Switzerland is preparing to test robots as mailmen. Small six-wheeled pods will be cruising down the Swiss sidewalks next month. If the test goes well, they could one day deliver food and medicine. Similar trials are underway in Britain and Germany as well.
Well, we'll see where that trend goes. What do you think?
Very interesting.
We'll just leave it at that. You're right about that. Yeah. Okay, our time this morning is 6:20 now on WKYT this morning. We're just getting started with all the latest news. We've already shown you some of the damage done to the multiple tornadoes for our neighbors in Indiana on Wednesday. When we return, a look at dramatic footage as it was captured. One of those twisters completely leveling a local Starbucks there. That's ahead.
It's unbelievable to see that yesterday. It's hot, hot, hot around here, though. We keep the storms to the north of us for the most part. Only smaller chances of rain each and every single afternoon through your weekend. It's all about the temperatures. I'll have that coming up next.
Coming up on 6:24 this Thursday morning, the search continues this morning for a man state police say killed his wife at a Bath County home.
That's what's trending this hour here on WKYT. Investigators are searching for Christopher White, who is accused of shooting his wife, Judith White. Police say Judith White was found dead in her home yesterday. Investigators are currently searching in the Red River Gorge, where Christopher White may have a cabin. They believe he may be there. They say White is considered armed and dangerous.
Mount Sterling police say they're investigating 12 heroin overdoses that reportedly took place within a few hours of each other. The police department posted a warning about what they believe to be a stronger than usual form of heroin going around. They say it's a growing trend that authorities are seeing across the region.
It's your Thursday, and we anticipate a nice summer-like day. We've sort of returned to that, Micah.
That's exactly right. That pattern is in store now throughout your weekend, and even up into next week. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's going to linger around. It's 75 degrees right now in Frankfort, Lexington coming in the mid-70s. So it looks good. It doesn't feel great outside, but no problems for the kiddos heading out to the bus stop early this morning. Muggy start, though. I promise you that. And that's going to be the case later on this afternoon. You got Wreck the Ravine going on this afternoon off into the evening hours there at EKU. If you're helping out with that, teachers or whatever planners, just know this, there is a small chance of rain, but it's very, very tiny. So most of us will stay dry. I don't see much of an issue except trying to stay hydrated. That's pretty much it. 90 degrees by the afternoon. As we continue to travel off through the next few days, it's going to be the same. So our focus of the forecast, not so much about thunderstorms, only slight chances toward the afternoon. It's all about the heat and humidity because we're talking heat index values closing in on 100 degrees. We're going to get into that in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Now that gets your attention.
Doesn't it, though?
We talk about it feeling like it's 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's a rough time out there. And now to your news. A number of structures were damaged as parts of Indiana were pounded with tornadoes yesterday. Among those was a Starbucks that was destroyed in the small town of Kokomo, just north of Indianapolis.
Now we have some video now. It's dramatic. It captured the damage as a tornado hit that Starbucks. As you can see in just seconds, the twister takes out the entire building. Luckily, no customers or employees were injured, according to Starbucks this morning. Emergency officials say as many as 8 tornadoes were reported touching down in or near the city of Kokomo. A lot to clean up there. The Governor Mike Pence says, who of course is the Republican nominee for president, says he will remain in the state until they can assess things and get help to people there. But what a mess.
Yeah, I can only imagine what they're going through right now.
Yeah.
Must be tough.
Our time this morning on WKYT is 6:26. Glad you're with us. Our top stories are on the way.
When we return, more help from Kentucky is heading to Louisiana today. The details coming up at 6:30.
Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot, $76 million, and Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $142 million. Keep it here on WKYT this morning.